So today we're going to do a sunshine because I think we all need just a little bit of sunshine. And the sunshine that we're going to do is going to have an awesome face so that we can work on drawing faces. So the first thing we have is our inspiration. So I love this face with her big kissy lips and her eyes. And look at the fun designs around here. And this, in these sun rays, looks to me like they have used salt. The next one, look at all the lettering and the writing and how fun this is around the sun, where it says, "You are my sunshine." Another one, look at all these colors. I don't love these sun's eyes shut, but you could do that as well. Or if you have someone younger that's worried about doing eyes, this would be perfect. So all the colors, all the designs around the sun rays. This one's got a variety of colors along the bottom of the sun rays, which I think is awesome with the design in it. This one, I love the squigglies on the end of the sun rays, love the rainbow. But look at this one. And when the Queen of England spoke, she said that they are using the symbol of the rainbow that the children are making for their design or for their emblem of hope. So look how fun that would be with the sunshine to have those bright colored rainbow rays coming from your sun. This one is fun as well. This could be made, punched and put in the card, in the envelope, and the words, there's love and hope. So to get started, we're going to make a card, and I've got a sunshine drawn. I have my lucky frog right there that Mr. Pove made. So this is the card that we're going to be making. I have decorated the envelope as well, and I've got several options for you. And here is my envelope. I put a cute little butterfly that's hanging onto the T on 2. And inside, when you open the card, it says, "You got this." So the card will fit inside this envelope. And you can paint just exactly like you do your sunshine. You can paint on your envelope. So to begin, I just started with a piece of scrap paper, and I folded it and got my placement before I started to draw. So you may want to do that as well. Then I just rough sketched my sunshine in there. You could have a handle around this so it looked like a basket. You could fill this with paper hearts or some flowers down in there. So to begin, I take one of my papers from my sketchbook and I'm going to fold it in half. And then I'm going to fold it in half again and half again. And then I'm going to bend my paper to the first fold right there. Now, to get that crisp, in the cupboard I have a pan scraper. So I'm going to use that. You could use the side of a pencil or the back of a butter knife. And then when I open that up, I'm going to push this side out as well. And if I choose to cut this, I want to show you a couple of ways I have cut it. So instead of this one, I cut a little bit of an angle in here, and then I just left my back. So again, that is folded, and this is folded, and then I've pushed those out, or they can go in. This one, I actually drew my rainbow around my sun, or you could put your rainbow here with your clouds, and I did the exact same thing. This one, I made it look more like a heart, and I could actually draw the sides of the heart on the outside. Now, I also took a bowl and just traced around that, or a plate or a cup, and then I arched that as well. So there is the simple fold for my card. And then I want you to think about what you could put on your card. And I'm going to show you a couple extra little embellishments that we can do as well. So to begin, again, I've drawn my sun face, a circle, and the sun is a circle, isn't it? Her little face. It's not egg-shaped like ours, but it is a circle. I'm going to divide it top to bottom in half and left to right in half. Now, my sunshine, and if you need to get a mirror and look at your face, that would be awesome, because my face, when you touch your face with your fingers, an almond shape or an oval, we on our face should have, and it looks like I didn't get mine quite centered, but we have the space of an eye between our eyes. So there would be my eyes. Then I'm going to drop down and make a line about 1/3 of the way down, and then one a little bit lower than that. I may raise that just a tiny bit. And those marks are going to be for the bottom of my nose and for my smile line. So My eyes, I've got my spacing. There should be an eye space or another size of this oval to the right and to the left of my face. And I did get mine a little bit off center. So I'm going to draw an almond shape. My eye actually is a ball inside my socket of my eye. So I'm going to draw one eye, an almond, and then the other eye. And draw the pupil, the iris, which is the colored part of my eye, and then my pupil. If my pupil is in the center of my eye, I will look scared or kind of crazy. So I do my pupil, which is the black part of my eye, so it comes up to the top just a little bit. If you choose to, you can add a little line for your eyelids. Now, down here is going to be my nose. This is the bottom of my nose, and when we look at our nose, it is going to be the width of an eye. So take your fingers, and I want you to touch the eye that you on your face, and then touch the end of your nose, and the space there should be about the same. Now, this little shape right here is all I'm going to do right now for my nose, and what it is if you have a mirror, I want you to look up, and if you look up, you can see your nostrils, and it kind of looks like we have a nose like a pig. So if we look down, you will see the shadow under here, and the shadow here. So this is what my nose shape is going to be, and that looks much more pleasing to your eye than a pig nose with your nostrils showing. So I'm going to erase that now. If you choose to, you can have a little bit of your outside of your nostrils and possibly one line, or if you want to do them both. And we do above our eyes have our brow bone. Again, if you'll feel your face, you can feel that bone. And our eyebrows will go up over there, over that bone. And my eyebrows are going to be a soft, gradual arch. If my eyebrows come down like that, I have angry eyes. If they go up like that, I look confused or surprised. So a soft, gradual curve, which will be along about the same lines as my eye, about the same from left to right as my eye, and that will be my eyebrow. Soft, gradual curve. The next thing I'm going to do is going to be my Sunshine's happy face, and I'm going to draw lines. You don't need to do this, you can just do imaginary lines, but when I touch the corners of my mouth and I run my finger straight up, my smile, the corner of my smiles will be at the center of my eyes. So there is my smile line. I'm going to add in the center again a upper lip that almost looks like wings of a bird in the distance, or an M that is soft, and then my lower lip. And I don't want to connect those lines because it's more pleasing to our eye not to have outlines. Now underneath, and if you feel under your lip or get the mirror and look, we also have a little bit of a indent under there, and that's the direction that it goes, is an upside down smile, but I like to put mine so it's more of a smile. Now, you can erase the lines that you don't need, and here is my finished sunshine. So the next thing I'm going to do is go in and add my rays. And in the pictures, there were some examples of the sun rays. I kind of like just the narrow at the bottom and wide, and then put some fun designs on there, which could be done with color. If you want to add cheeks, we can add a little bit of a roundness to the top of our cheeks. If you don't want to, that's great too. Notice up here I've put a little butterfly, and the butterfly is what I'm going to use on my envelope. Plus, while I was drawing my butterfly, I did an extra one with his little wings, and he is holding a heart, and I took my scissors and I clipped that. This guy can be a bookmark on a page. So how cute is that? And I can paint that little butterfly as well. The other thing I did that could be a bookmark is I drew a little heart and then a rainbow, and this also will clip into your book and be a bookmark. So there's a couple extra little things that you can do when you're working on your project. So again, that butterfly can be on my envelope, or if I like this side view butterfly. Once you have your sun face sketched, then erase the lines. There's my brow line, that T that I put on there. Erase the lines that you don't need. And I don't think I want my cheeks to connect, but I do love the designs that I have put on here. So I could go in with my watercolor pencils and do all of my designs. If there was another, if I wanted to do rainbows, I could do that on my design. If there was another type of sunray that you wanted to add, you could do that as well. So the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to use our watercolors. And again, put water on my plate, color in my water, and I'm going to start with my yellow. Now, if you feel like you have a hard time getting your watercolors wet, the thing that you could do is take a mister or a spritzer and dampen your watercolors a little bit. Don't get them too wet. That's not a good thing to do because it just wastes your time and wastes your color. So I'm going to put another puddle of water so I can do orange and another puddle so I can do red, and I'm going to, along the bottom, put just a tiny bit of purple out, because what color would be opposite on the color wheel of my yellow? It would be my purple. And I do want to be careful because if I get those two colors mixed too much, I will have a brown color. So I'm just going to mix my yellow, my orange, and a tiny bit of red, and I might pick up just a little bit of red with my violet and try that for my dark. So water on my water on my plate, color in my water. I'm going to do orange here. Make certain you have enough water to do what you are going to do so you don't run out and have to remix, and make sure there's enough color that when you use that, you're not going to have to go over it again. So again, there's my yellow, my orange. I think my orange needs a tiny bit more color. And lastly, I'm going to pick up some purple. And I do want to watch that I don't get that mixed with my yellow, or I may not love the color that I have. But I could pick up a little bit of that red with my purple, and I may really like that color. So you can see it's not purple, it's got some red in it, so it is a red violet. So to begin, one thing that I didn't show you that I think would be fun, look on this paper. Can you see the white there in the background? They've drawn a design. You could actually take a wax crayon, and we just can get those at an art supply store, or you can get those actually in Easter egg kits. So that wax crayon, I could draw that design and then let that dry, and when I put my watercolors over there, it will resist the color and stay white. The other option, I do have a white opaque gel pen, and I could go in after and do that too. It's a different effect than what that is, but that can be done as well. So I'm going to start with my sunshine with my yellows, and I'm just going to do a little bit, and you can see, get my color on. Now I could pick up some orange in some. If my color is wet, then my colors will run together, and you might be able to see I have a tiny bit of purple in my brush. And so my yellow didn't go super bright, did it? It could be brighter. So make certain that you rinse your brush really well before you switch colors. And if your water is dirty, look at my water, make certain that you have clean water, because if you pick up water and it's got color in it, what's going to happen? It's going to be dirty, isn't it? So there's some color. I'm going to take a tiny bit of my orange on some of these. Dab it, a little bit of, oh, it looks like I got in my red. My colors ran together just a little bit. So, I like what that looks like. Now, where this little bit of a sunray is over the top of that one, I'm going to put a tiny bit of orange, because would it be casting a shadow? Absolutely, it would. So, after I get these colors on, I can let that dry, and then I could go back, if I chose to, and add some detail, or I could do those before with my watercolor pencils and then blend them and then do the yellow watercolors as my last step. Now, the color that is going to be for my background, I would get this dry, because if I'm going to use either a blue or a violet color, what would happen if I mixed those two? It would not be a pretty color. It would go really drab and brown. So get your watercolors on, and then we're going to let this dry. And if you prefer, do your watercolor pencil on your designs and blend it, and then let's do our sunshine.